Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Rainbow Children of the Light. If you're new here, my name is Heather, and this space is for spiritual mums who are raising sensitive, conscious children while also learning to honor their own intuition, healing, and spiritual journey along the way. So, today's episode is really an important one because we're talking about something many spiritual mums feel but often can't quite explain. And that is healing the energy within your family. Not just one child, not just supporting yourself, but understanding that families are deeply energetically connected. When one person is overwhelmed, everyone feels it. When one person begins healing, everyone shifts. And I truly believe that many spiritual mums are the energetic anchors of their homes. When you feel something is off, you sense tension before words are spoken, you absorb emotions, you carry invisible weight, and often you're trying to hold everyone together energetically without even realizing it. So today I want to talk about how family energy works, why some homes can feel heavy and chaotic, how children absorb emotionally and energetic environments, how mums often carry energy that isn't even theirs, and gentle ways that we can begin healing the energetic atmosphere of our families, and how we can consciously work together energetically as a family unit. And I really want this episode to feel grounded and supportive, not overwhelming, not fear-based, just awareness, empowerment, and love. So, families are energetically connected. One of the biggest things I've learned through working with children and parents is this: children do not exist separately from the family energy. They're deeply connected to it, especially our sensitive children. And sensitive children often act like emotional and energetic mirrors within the home. They absorb tension, they feel emotional undercurrents, they pick up on stress, conflict, overwhelm, sadness, anxiety, even when nobody says anything out loud. And sometimes what we see in a child's behavior is actually an expression of the energetic environment around them. And that doesn't mean anybody is doing anything wrong. It simply means energy moves through families, just like it moves through people. And I've seen children become dysregulated during times of stress in the home, even when the adults believed they were hiding it well. But sensitive children feel energy first, sometimes before words, sometimes before the adults, before the adults can consciously recognize it actually for themselves. And I do know, because I absolutely have experienced this with my own children. I went through some hardships when my mother passed away, and it was an incredibly difficult time, and I thought that I was hiding it from my children, but they still felt it. They knew there was something going on, but they didn't know what it was, and they felt it, and it came through. It came through at school. It came through how they were interacting in their after-school activities. It was very subtle, but it was there, and it wasn't until that I was able to acknowledge that and bring reassurance to them that this was not theirs to hold, that everything was okay, and providing them with that safety and that love that is just so incredibly important. So, yeah, when these things are out of balance, it can show up as, emotional meltdowns or sleep disturbances, clinginess, withdrawal, heightened anxiety, anger, sensory overwhelm, exhaustion, resistance, emotional outbursts. And often parents say, I just don't understand what's going on lately. But energetically, the child is responding to the environment around them. So, calling on the higher selves of the family. One practice that has really supported me personally is connecting energetically with the higher selves and spiritual teams of my family during meditation. Sometimes when things feel disconnected or tense or overwhelming or just emotionally heavy within the home, I'll sit quietly and intentionally call upon the higher selves of each family member. I call in their spirit teams, angels, guides, and higher wisdom, and I simply ask, please help us work together as a family unit. Help us support and guide one another. Help us understand each other through love. Help us move through challenges with compassion rather than fear. And one of the biggest intentions I hold is to work together as one connected unit while still honoring each person individually. Because family healing does not mean everyone becomes the same. Each family member still has their own personality and emotions and gifts, lessons, perspectives, soul journey. But energetically, we can still work together harmoniously, like individual puzzle pieces creating one beautiful picture. I often visualize all of our energies connecting through light, not tangled, not enmeshed, but connected through love, respect, support, and understanding. And honestly, sometimes after these meditations, I notice subtle shifts within the family dynamic, more softness, more patience, more understanding, less resistance, less emotional tension. It's almost like the energy underneath the family begins reorganizing itself back into harmony. And whether you view this as spiritually, energetically, or simply through the power of intention, it can be incredibly healing. So, spiritual mums often carry the family energetically. Now, this next part is really important. As mums, especially spiritual, empathetic mums, we often become the emotional processors of the household. We absorb everyone's emotions, the children's stress, our partner's stress, the pressure of daily life, school energy, family dynamics, and sometimes we become so used to carrying everybody else's energetically that we stop noticing how heavy it feels. I know because I have experienced this myself. There have been moments where I suddenly realize, wow, I just don't feel like myself. I feel snappy, overstimulated, emotionally exhausted, heavy. And then I realize I've been energetically holding everybody else without grounding back into myself. Sometimes mums become so focused on supporting everyone else that they forget their own nervous system and energetic body need healing too. And, children often feel that. And not because that we need to be perfect. It's just that the energy needs to be able to move through us and dissipate. So our homes hold energy too. And I also believe that the energetic imprint within your home can really make a difference on how everybody is feeling and moving. You can often feel it immediately when you walk into a space. Some homes feel calm and peaceful, others feel chaotic, heavy, tense, or emotionally charged. And this energy can build over time through stress and conflict and illness and overwhelm and grief, emotional suppression, constant rushing, fear-based media, emotional burnout. Energy lingers, and sensitive children especially feel the energy of the home environment. Sometimes after difficult periods, the home itself can feel heavy. I recently experienced this after sickness moved through our house. The kids were unwell, our routines were disrupted, everyone was tired, emotional, overwhelmed. And while I was physically cleaning the home constantly, washing, disinfecting, caring for everyone, I also felt called to energetically cleanse the space too. Because energetically, it felt stagnant and heavy. So I used the violet flame with Saint Germain to clear the energy through the house. I visualized the violet flame expanding through every room, clearing stagnant energy, emotional heaviness, stress, overwhelm, and anything that no longer needed to remain in the space. And that was for the viruses, the bacteria, the fungi, anything that was lingering around that was not welcome. I then called upon Archangel Michael to clear and protect the space with by placing a blue shield around the home. So once it was cleared energetically, just placing that blue shield to protect the house. And I almost see it as like a grid. And, after doing these energetic practices, the energy shifted, the atmosphere shifted, things just felt lighter, calmer, more peaceful. And this doesn't need to feel, complicated, or you don't need to do it perfectly. Children respond beautifully to intentional energy. So some simple ways to heal your family energy. So let's talk about some of those gentle ways that you can begin healing the energy within your family, not from a place of fear, but from a place of love. So the first thing is to regulate yourself. This one is huge because children co-regulate from us energetically and emotionally. So when we're dysregulated, overwhelmed, disconnected, or energetically overloaded, children often feel that too. And I know sometimes mums feel guilty about this. And this isn't about, blaming or feeling shame. It is about awareness. Sometimes healing family energy begins with, what do I need right now? Is it grounding? Is it rest? Is it just silence, some support, fresh air, nervous system reset? Even just placing your feet on the earth for a minute can shift your energy. And, our children, they don't need perfect mothers. They just need regulated, supported, and authentic ones. So the second thing is to clear the energy of your home. And this can be incredibly simple by opening up the windows, letting the sunlight in, playing calming music, burning incense or sage if that feels aligned for you, using essential oils, using prayer even, or just simply setting the intention. It doesn't need to be elaborate rituals. The energy responds strongly to intention. You might simply say, only love may remain in this home, or I release all heavy energy from this space. You can also visualize white light, violet light, or golden light moving through the home. Children often feel calmer afterwards without even knowing why. So the third point is protecting sensitive children energetically. Some children become deeply affected by environments outside of their home. So this can be school, daycare, crowds, conflict, other family houses, busy shopping centres, even certain people. Sometimes parents notice, my child changes completely after being around or in certain environments. Sensitive children can absorb external energy very easily. One thing I love doing is visualizing Archangel Michael's protective blue light around children before school or difficult environments. So that is just simply calling upon Archangel Michael and asking him to place that protective blue shield around the aura of your child. And it's not, separating them from everybody else. It's just helping them remain grounded in their own energy and not absorbing everybody else's. And you can teach your child to do this visualization in a very playful way because, children are often naturally intuitive and can pick up these concepts quite easily because they are spiritually more connected to where they were before they came earthside. So they haven't gone through all of that conditioning as we have. So quite often they're very open to this, and it can be a very playful thing to do with them as well. So the fourth thing is to release emotional energy instead of suppressing it. Families sometimes unintentionally suppress emotions to keep the peace. But unexpressed emotions just don't disappear. They stay within the nervous system and energetic body. So healing family energy means allowing emotions to move safely. That could look like tears or having conversations, even rest conversations, talking about things, reassurance, honest and expressions, asking children just to be able to express themselves without feeling they need to hold back. They just need to know that they're safe in their space to be able to do that, that it's not scary. There's nothing wrong that they're doing in terms of expressing themselves, and it's not something that they need to hide, because every time they feel like they need to hide their emotions, they're just suppressing it down and down and down. And you know what? When they're adults, they're going to have to go back to their inner child and unpack it all. So let's just prevent that from the beginning. So the fifth point I'd like to bring up is bringing more love into the home intentionally. And this is probably the most important part. Energy shifts faster with love than with fear, if that makes sense. Fear is quite a stagnant, dense energy, whereas love is expansive and can really clear it out. Love, it can just move that fear, move those anxiety feelings. And sometimes healing family energy can just be as simple as sending love to the family unit. It can be slowing down. It can be having beautiful interactions together, like laughing together, or having cuddles on the couch, or dancing in the kitchen, eating together, spending time in nature, creating peaceful bedtime rituals, speaking gently to each other, and reconnecting after difficult moments, because there's always going to be difficult moments. That's just reality. That is the human experience. But being able to regroup after that is really important. So love changes the energetic atmosphere of the home, and children, they really feel that deeply. So if there's one thing I want you to take away from today's episode, is this: you're not meant to carry the emotional and energetic weight of your family alone, and you do not need to heal everything perfectly overnight. Small energetic shifts create powerful ripple effects. One calmer moment, one intentional breath, one loving reconnection, one protected, grounded space, that matters. And if you're a mum listening to this right now, feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or emotionally heavy, please know this: your energy matters too. You deserve support. You deserve healing. You deserve to feel safe, grounded, and nourished within your own home and body. And often when mums begin healing, the entire family begins shifting too. And I can absolutely attest to this, because once I started on my own spiritual path, my husband, he was not long behind me. He always seems to be about 6 months in that catch up. But it's funny because I don't always talk about the things that I'm moving through or that I'm experiencing, but it'll come up for him too. And he is also moving through all of this too. So it's such an interesting journey in that we are all energetically connected. And when somebody is doing the healing work, that brings everybody else through too, which is wonderful. So thank you so much for being here with me today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd absolutely love for you to share it with another mum who you may feel might need this reminder now as well. And if you'd like to have some deeper support with your sensitive child, you can explore my Children's Rainbow recalibration sessions and free resources through all of the links below. So until next time, beautiful souls, trust your intuition, lead with love, and remember that your presence alone brings healing into your family. Sending you so much love to you and your little one.